Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time, Field Glory Empire as Persia. For once, I think we're going to be properly moving into Egypt proper. We've already got our troops assigned for what they're going to do. Mostly, we do have this one up here in the north that we need to give some tasks to. Mainly telling him to go over there. We might reassign the task when he gets a little bit closer. Or actually... Yeah, it'll take him a little bit longer that way, but it keeps him on land. Less likely to run into stray boats. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. Got a bolster colony. Ooh, nice. Yeah, we probably want to do that up here. Maybe in this province, so we can actually get this province functional. Maybe. Maybe. Granted slaves some extra rights. And, some slaves have migrated to our capital. We're building the King of King Palace. Should be done next turn. We got 3 open slots there. Could go the archery range here. Yeah, could do the archery range here, but I think we'll do something else instead of the archery range. Market's decent. We get leather and salt, and it moves the pottery around, getting some money that way. Okay. 2 turns on that military academy. Of course, we're going to delay it a little bit by building some stuff. Maybe building some stuff. Yeah, building it. Okay, could do the basilica. That's actually a really good basilica. Gold, marble, ceramics are all being supplied, so it's 21 culture. We have the frankincense, being imported from one of our places. Yeah, do the basilica. Oh, we've got another black market here. I think the black market is also not national wonder, so you can build multiple. They're just a rare thing that's behind the gambling ring. The illicit wares can be interesting when they pop up, so we'll grab them when we offer them. I'm not going to go out of my way to build gambling rings to get multiple. Wool spinning, we could do that. I don't think we're that desperate to get cloth up here, though. Noble District, we don't actually have marble this far north yet. We'll do the Salt House. Commercial port, trade range +1. Yep. Grab the wheelmaker. Yeah. Bandits. So we're looking for armor. We don't obviously have armor here. We'll pick the public works up instead. Temporarily. And we need just a little bit more industry to get some of this stuff done. Not by much, but not non-zero. How much more do you need? 37. Okay. Now it's going to be 37 times multiple, so... Oops. We don't need to see that battle again. So now it's down to 26. So 26 times 4, so we need just over 100, so we need like 104. Like 27 more. Is that enough? That is enough. Okay. So all 4 of those buildings will complete. And then we may end up swapping back over the food as soon as they're done, but we'll see. Amphitheater, cool. Military Academy, cool. Sculpture Shop, cool. 3 empty building slots there. So you want to build something. The question is, did you roll something that's worth building? Oration Tribune's worth building. There are 2 building slots there. Expand the port? Yeah, let's expand the port. 2, 2, and 2. Grab the Salt House. Yeah, let's grab the Salt House. Food and health will be useful up here. If we can, we mostly want to feed our people up in the mountains here with preserved goods instead of farming locally. The street crawler there. You're still working towards the Builders Guild, so land expansion is not a bad step to take for that. Nope, we're going to present another black market. If those are just wrongly not tagged as National Wonder, I'm going to be so confused. But yeah, we're going to be able to build those a bunch of places. Preceptor House, we do want to work those up to Academy. We kind of want academies everywhere if we can, so being presented with it, so we'll take it. Nothing to build here, so we want to move the infrastructure over to food. I'm definitely, if our administrative overhead went up, I think we're making enough resources we could probably source the money from swapping people into commerce, but for the moment I think we're good at trying to grow as quickly as possible while we still have the administrative burden minimized. So we're looking for a very specific cultural building. We're looking for the fortune teller to clear Rumor of the Witch. So I could build the monument here, but I'm actually going to pass on the monument. I know, I almost always build these. And the reason is, because then we have 3 cultural buildings, and it actually make it harder to find the fortune teller. So we'll watchtower instead. Because that building does not have that problem. Does not make the building we're looking for harder to find. You know, I'll take the archery range here. We probably don't want to build archers here. This is where we build the mountain guys. Not that we need any more mountain guys at this point. Hopefully we don't lose any. Grab the training ground. And the wheelmaker. Does it finish both of them without any people coming off of food? Yes. Road. And reclamation. We do need one more food building. Stud's probably not like the one we want, but actually, right now, apparently all the places implying I can import it from are not us. So maybe we do want the stud here. From a food standpoint, we probably want it to be the granary. We can make do with the granary. Then when we get the next building slot, actually, we have the current building slot. When that's done, in theory, we could be rolling for the irrigation canal. Irrigation canal makes papyrus. At the moment, we have no papyrus west of here. So that'll allow us up here, where we're probably just out of range for there, to have papyrus. It also allows anyone over here who needs papyrus to buy the papyrus from us. I probably say that like once an episode every time we come around to this place, so I'll try not to say it again this episode. We do probably want more loyalty here. We've already got the first tier of the Pleasure Mansion. To be fair, I don't think it's a 14. I think it's an upgrade of 8 to 14. So we're paying 7 money for 6 loyalty. I'll take that. It's not very good, but I'll take it. 5 open slots. Grab the land expansion. Okay. 5 slots there. Grab the salt house. We do want more loyalty here. Apparently we got hit with a plague, which is lowering the loyalty by quite a bit. Fix the loyalty that way. So we could have farm, which provides grain, or I could do pleasure house for the loyalty. I'm gonna do the farm because I think we can get a better loyalty building than the pleasure house. We can get the frankincense, that's not a problem. We have the gold. Marble ceramics aren't going to be too hard to import. Yeah, let's do that. That'll get us our culture buildings we need to get to tier 3. Okay, you're building as fast as you can. Now we're on to the loose ones. I don't think we got any... We don't have a lot of loose ones, so... No idols for the moment. Let's cycle that turn. And watch our forces march into Egypt, and or sail into Egypt. Oh, we did have a naval engagement. So it's a good thing I did do the sweep with the navy there. Although our navy is a bit weak. So we may actually take some losses here. We suffered a naval defeat. Our guys back out to sea, which is kind of the opposite of what we wanted. Okay. Attacking Persia. So this is the cavalry running amok. We lost the skirmish. Iranian armored cavalry versus mercenary infantry. It's a 5v5. We got a slightly better minimum roll. We won that. 4v5. They have a better minimum roll, so they're probably going to win that one. Yeah. Although, cavalry are good for evading, so as long as we have near parity, we probably aren't going to do too bad. Meaning we actually won there. Is hit and miss that engagement was. We can spend money to get some infrastructure, so we will. We'll pay some money to defy a previous ruler. We really need to get you guys ashore. Somewhere where we don't think we're going to get jumped by the Egyptian Navy. And then our Navy is directly wrecked at this point. So it needs to go to port. We got 5 ships in it. I'm not even sure the ships are going to survive to port. So I think it's time to build a new fleet. We want a 16 frontage fleet. How does our port look? We have access to the heavy warships. Although we can't build them particularly fast here. Get 3 a turn. Here we can get light. There we can get regulars. We might end up crashing out a bunch of regulars. Get the force up to size. Yeah. That's 11. We got 3 there, so that'd be 14. So let's do 2 more to bring it up to 16. plus whatever the survivors are. Another interloper. We'll go ahead and drop that on Sparta. We can see your objectives are saying, hey, you should go into Greece. And I'm like, no, Egypt. Egypt. We're going in Egypt. Yeah. How many objectives do I have right now? Just the 3 that I see? 4. 2 on Sparta, 1 on Macedonia, 1 on Byzantium. $27 turns to complete that. I think it'll complete next turn, specifically. The quarter's been destroyed. But yeah, probably will complete as soon as we cycle the turn. Alright, so those orders are assigned. You're doing your march. I think we'll go through the territories quickly, and we're going to do a roll. Turn roll. This being a home territory, this is a place where it probably makes sense to do the slave market. It'll help the place grow up a little bit faster. Because it'll be a place where slaves can arrive. This is not coastal. This is not a place I need to get ceramics to. Probably want ceramics like there anyway. For those neighbor bonuses. Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to go up the cult line here. Slight temporal line. Do the slave market. I think we're going to pass on that. Let's do the wheelmaker. Farm's not a bad idea. Delicacy shop honey. That would pull honey up in here. Amphitheater to move the silk up here. Just do walls. We'll do the amphitheater with the silk up here. We're far enough away from the border now. I'm not too interested in walling the place up as much. So the walls will probably end up getting used as rerolls. We're out of papyrus range at this point. So I think I'm going to build papyrus over there, in which case it will be just across the border from it. We'll do brickworks for the moment here. Grab a training ground. Okay, everything is over the amphitheater to finish in turn. Here we've only got 1 open slot. Could go the brickworks. We're not obviously going to need as many people working on it to do the brickworks. And that'll give us access as soon as we get another building slot here to roll tier 3 infrastructure buildings, go to the tier 3 culture buildings. Okay, so we just need the province to be like industry positive. Let's crank most of the people over to growth. And the brickwork still finishes. We had a bunch more growth. Good to see. Same thing here. And same thing here. 2, 2, and 2. Got a volcano. You notice I usually pass on the public baths. It's interesting if you like access to the perfumes and stuff. We generally don't have access to that though. And again, I'm not that health centric often. That's a decent orchard, and we could always use like the delicacy shop nuts to bring nuts over. Could be even better. Go for the land expansion. Here's a slot. Monument. Put the food person on to industry, or into infrastructure to get it going. One slot there. Does make sense to continue going up the temple line. This isn't going to cost us a build slot because we've already spent it. We're upgrading a 1 slot to a 1 slot. We are able, in theory, to roll the major temple. The major temple will import the ceramics. The ceramics should give us a culture bonus. Because we don't have the ceramic bonus here. We don't have the ceramic bonus. One of the neighboring territories has the provincial capital, which is also a ceramic culture bonus. Here the dock. One open slot. Land reclamation, so we're going to turn that 1 slot into 2 slot. Yeah, we'll roll with it. Okay, next. 1 open slot. We'll take the road. That's enough for the road. No, the road's a little bit more expensive than I thought it was. 6 more. The wall upgrade. A little more infrastructure. Next. Extra slots here, okay. Land expansion. And brickworks. They both can be finished without anyone moving off food, so that's good. We don't yet have the papyrus in the area, so we'll do the well. Regional road. We don't have access to coral yet, or at least not with our trade range. We have the food buildings. We can get the irrigation canal on a roll. We didn't get it on this one. Do the harbor here. This is an upgrade we're going to want to do anyway. Move 7 food over. It's going to be 1 slave. Industry. Doesn't make a big difference. It makes a little difference, though. Sometimes the little ones add up over time. And basically 50% penalty to both food and infrastructure that we can't get rid of. Shame. That's one thing, I suppose, the base scenario you run into a little bit less is you don't run into those buildings. You don't run into those perk malices as much on the base scenario. They're a little less common on the base scenario because the original game didn't launch with perks and malices like that. They were added, I think, with the DLC, which added this scenario. So this scenario is rich with them. The later one is a little bit less so. Oh, health. It's not very good for food, but the whole place is really bad for food, so that's not surprising. Okay, going through our territories 1 by 1. One more to go. Nothing to do there specifically. Idols, no idols. So with that, we cycle the turn, I think, unless we missed a regional. Nope. Does our army safely get to port? Yes, and most of the fleet gets to port as well. Okay. Granted, 3 out of 5 ships made it to port. So the fleet was pretty badly damaged one way or the other. Yeah, this is not particularly great terrain for our cavalry, but it's just urban militia, which don't really like this terrain either. (20 versus 6). I'm pretty sure the 28 are going to win. Again, your force will win, so there we go. Yeah, they do. There we go. So yeah, you can see we're slowly catching on Egypt. To realistically overtake them the time span we want to, we need to take some legends, or take some legacy off of them. The fleet was starving, which is why only 3 of 5 ships were able to make it to port. Or actually, no, because I recruited 3 ships there, so none of them made it to port. They all went to the bottom. Okay. Apparently, I inherited a lot of ships from the Egyptian recruiting queue. Okay. Return to the Promised Land. And so Persia shows again its might and mercy. The Jews are now returned to the land, and we will even help them more by subsidizing the reconstruction of the temple. We've gained 100 legacy points and relations with Judea. Oh, they literally gave them the territory back. Okay. Judea should be improved greatly. Subsidizing the Solomon Temple did cost you 100 money, though. Okay. Missing IDs, Garo? Okay. The temple has been rebuilt as a new temple. The Hebrew people have consecrated and is a beacon of their faith and resilience with all citizens of the Judean kingdom. Okay. It's been rebuilt. We're probably going to do some diplomacy with them. We have an alliance. We don't have enough... They don't have enough opinion of us to become our subject. We're going to do a cooperation with them, and we're gonna basically pay them to become happier with us over time. Because we basically want to make them our subject and then reintegrate that subject. Because I want Judea back, because this is a pretty good place. But let's not worry about it too much. Um, 2 legacy. We'd like that legacy back. They can, in theory, upgrade it. They're probably not going to, but they could. They got a tribal council there, which is... Okay, that'll get turned into another abandoned palace. Um, but yeah. So we want that back, but we're not going to be able to take that back anytime soon. Because we're not going to go to war with them for it. Ulster Colony, okay. Up in the north again, we're going to do that one. Yeah, this army's seen better days. We're going to slowly march it west. Oh, there's the Egyptian army. We may have some problems. Granted, this is maybe not the strongest army in the world, but still might potentially be a problem. Because this isn't the strongest army in the world. Although, our strongest army in the world has seen better days. Apparently the boat trip out to the island was a bad idea. Look like diplomacy. What is our war score up to? 90. I really want to take that off of them. They're not on board with that. They're at the point where they give me the territory I want. Right, those 5 territories are the territory I want. And they might even give me the lesser amount of humiliate. Hmm. Another 80 war score is not going to be easy. We'll see how things go with the fighting here. So what do we lose here? So we've got 6 of our immortals. Probably want that to be a full 10. So we probably want like another 4 of those. We lost one of the cavalry flankers, although we could replace it with a better one. And we can replace the lost archer with a better archer. Let's quickly grab... What was that? 4 missing immortals? That'll be expensive, but we can afford it. Yeah, that'll be 4. Although we're not going to get the 4th one. The 4th one's going to be extra expensive. We'll just roll out with 3. We'll let the medium infantry do the support job. We'll grab a Iranian armored cav to sit on the flanks. Grab a couple of these archers. And then we want probably some light cav if we can. Yeah. I think get all those together. That'll fill up the vacancies in that army. Do I attack or do I stay where I am? This force. There's the obelisk. We do probably want to take acquisition of that. The pyramids are obviously where the Egyptian main army is. pyramids and the Sphinx, which is kind of another thing we want, but can't take everything at once. And to be fair, we're kind of a little bit worried that our stack is not going to do particularly well. Okay, let's try to get all the boats to meet up on Cyprus. We do think there's an Egyptian navy out there somewhere, but we don't know where. And you're marching, that's fine. Okay, then we go through the building slots. Let's grab the smokehouse. Do we need more loyalty? We don't really need it yet. Instead of grabbing the provincial cataphracts, we could grab the castrum cataphractae, which will allow us to build sort of our national cataphract. Although there's maybe an argument this should really be built up there. Yeah, there's an argument it should be built up there instead. Yeah, we'll hold off on it for that reason. Don't need the loyalty from the racing track yet. If we had wine and wild beasts, and we'd probably do it for the money reason, but... Trading post, we get coral. Don't necessarily know how to move around fur and amber, or if there's even any really realistically in range for that, so we'll probably pass there. Yeah, I think we'll do the reroll here. Grab the monument so we can get access to the tier 2s. I feel like this is not the first time I hit the reroll here. Take the quarry. Two and a 2. Don't think I need the wood at this far north, or at least I'd probably prefer to do it on the... If we took over Colchis, on the forest and open Colchis. We're out of import range for the olive oil, so we'll do the monument. Do the monument there. I'm gonna have to do... Yeah, this is a good place to do farming, although the first couple farm buildings are gonna be a bit meh. Like, the farm eventually will be really good, but the other ones are not super great. So we'll take a stud just because we're gonna have to take a couple bad ones anyway. That's because plains you can upgrade the farm all the way to plantation on, so we're gonna want to build a plantation there. And that makes a lot of other food buildings better. Do an anchorage. This is an anchorage on that little lake, which isn't super great. Do the courthouse instead. We're getting into the loyalty position where I do want more loyalty. This will also get us access to tier 3, so that'll allow the next loyalty building to be much better than a 14. And we get enough industry that I don't need to put any on, or enough infrastructure saved up. I don't need to put anything on infrastructure to get those done. Same here. We're going to expand the wheelmaker so we can turn that public into a regional. Turn that public into regional here. That will need some industry because that's reasonably expensive. Some infrastructure construction. 2 slots there. We're right next to a ceramics maker. I suppose I could set it up here. two neighboring regionals would actually benefit from it, but no, I'm going to resist the urge. This is probably not, like, from a long-term money standpoint, this is superfluous. Better off moving around with the temple. Do you want to quant it or theater it? The quant for the midterm health and growth bonuses. Do monument. Training ground. Vortex. Apparently all those are finishing one turn, so I don't need to move the last food guide over. Got a build slot there. A really good coin maker. Gold and copper, we'd just be short the silver. Don't necessarily have a good way to bring the silver in, though. But 36 for a single slot is not bad. And we'll get the coin maker done in a turn. We can get olive oil, we have fish, we have salt, so this is a good gear maker. Okay. Do open salt. If necessary, if we needed the loyalty, this would be fine. We're going to pass, we'll take the Weaver shop instead. Okay. 2 slots there. Player new is going to require getting up to Builder Guild, which is tier 3. That's going to take a while, but we'll work towards it. That's also a good garum shop. Granted, we're importing the olive oil from else. Apritha? Apritha. From the Arabians. So I'll have to remember not to conquer the Arabians, because I suspect the Arabians are getting it from, yep, a settled oasis. So, if we took that over, it would go poof. And then we'd have no place to import our olive oil from. 2 and a 1. Did go for the Weaver. I don't think we're that interested in, although it's 25 money. But I think I'll go to the farm here. We mostly have everyone converted except for the slaves, right? Yeah. Go gold site then. Do we want to put a little bit more food to get the farm done? There we go. Or a little bit more workers from food onto infrastructure to get the farm done. Because the gold mine is a lot of money, this is not a bad place. Let's grab the crafting district. Lots to build here. How interested in agriculture? Interested enough. Let's go to the scriptorum. So this is upgrading the coin maker to the great, or to the mint, which could later be upgraded to the great mint. We're getting bonus from gold and copper. We're obviously right next to the gold here. So it's 26 more money. It'd be even more if we had the silver, but yeah, let's do the mint. Gold, silver, copper might trigger some inflation events. Hopefully not too much. Do the large mine. This would actually be a decent large mine. We're gonna pass on it. We're gonna grab the Tribune. And then try to make enough industry that we can finish the mint in a turn. Or enough infrastructure to finish the mint in a turn. See if we can use this game's vocabulary instead of other games' vocabulary. There we go. Regional road's the only one we're not expected to finish. I don't think we're going to make enough to solve that problem, though. No. No matter what I do, I'm not going to get enough for that. Courthouse. Okay, so move the provincial capital there, that's fine. I was remembering that we lost Judea, and I think I remember putting it in the cap in Judea specifically, but I may be misremembering. I may have put it the coastal place to start with. Probably do want the food. We're not going to get good food here. It's so bad we can't even get a regular farm. Yeah, we're not going to get good food here. Best we're going to get is the orchard. And we do want food, because this place is struggling a little bit with food. Let's build the caravan house that goes next to tier 2. Commerce. Okay, 27. Even more on culture to keep you stable. Yeah, we'll do the theater here. That'll give us the tier 2 stuff. The tier 2 stuff will be better getting loyalty up. And I think we have enough loyalty there if the plague goes away. Because it's suffering from a plague at the moment. Alright, 20 loyalty. Though to the terrible health, it's a decent possibility against another plague. Okay, now we're on to the loose, which I don't think we really have any. Oh, recently occupied territory has some. Okay. Public road, that's it. Okay. Let's cycle the turn. Oh, the light ship's trying to leave. Run into light ships. Well, run into ships. Don't even run into light ships. So, the fleet we didn't ask for, we don't keep. That's fair. We did take one Egyptian ship with us. 28 versus 1. I think the 20 are going to win. Oh, was there walls there? Maybe there was. Okay, 16 versus 5 in the United Steps. There we go. So we took one of the wonders off of Egypt. And the cavalry continued to run amok. To be fair, we're probably going to give Egypt most of its wonders back. Because we want to just take a bunch of legacy off of them. We're going to choose Saba and Persia, isn't it? Okay. Change recruitment policy. Send manpower home, get money. Did I click too fast? Oh, that was the iron one. Yeah, I should sell the iron as well. Oh yeah, there was walls there. Okay. Laying siege, the siege will be quick. We're probably in the state where we could just assault that, honestly. Yeah, let's just order the assault. Federate barbarians. Federate them, or let's federate Scythia. And oh, we still have a pending action on that one. Relations up to 15. Relations up to actually down to 4. Remembered it being higher than that. And we would have cooperation, okay. Trying to bribe our neighbors. Make them like us a little bit more. Okay, we'll try something like that. We want to play friendly with Arabia because we do need olive oil from them. So you're on an assault. You'll get into siege position soon. We have troops headed out for you. So they'll take a long time to get across the Empire. 4 turns to get across the Empire. These guys will get there a little bit faster. I don't want to go by sea. Keep obviously go down the coastline then. I'm actually surprised you didn't get there in 1 turn. Okay. So, 3 of you guys. Is it just the 3 and the 4? Oh no, I grabbed a provincial here, cav as well. We can get those there as well. So, okay, so we can get the archers and the cav grouped up. Probably send them ahead. The heavy infantry are going to arrive later. And we kind of have a staring off war here with the Egyptian army. And they're probably not starting anything because our combat power is higher than theirs. Although, how long that lasts is anyone's guess. Could definitely use some better and new generals, yes. Yep, get those fleets to merge. Oh, we got lots to build in the capital area. Let's build at the brickworks. Try to get you up to tier 2 infrastructure. The capital. Could grab the prison, but we're not really worried about loyalty and really don't care about economics in the capital region. Pottery is a local good. That gives us another commerce building. Weirdly, we probably actually want the crafting district in the capital at this point, but we haven't rolled it since I made the decision that I want it. we'll pick the fair up. Market's decent money. Land expansion. And we can't move anyone off of food because nobody makes enough food in the area. Should finish at the military academy, so that's good. Can upgrade the gambling arena, which apparently would be a money decrease. I think it's because it's moving from a flat bonus to a percentile bonus. We don't have enough base percentile. Tar workshop. We're not really going to do the thing to move the tar around otherwise, so if I'm going to get that bonus, that's how we do it, so sure. Yeah, regional road. It's being offered, it helps the trade range. Take the clear water there. We don't need the circuses. We're not that desperate for money, although this is demonstrating to be really good for money. We don't need that anchorage. Actually, I might do the circus because we don't need the anchorage. I could probably pass on like everything here. This region, archers. Provincial, medium cav. Provincial, like light cav we'd do, but I don't do the archer range for. You know, I've talked myself into building the circus. We don't need the loyalty, but it's providing enough money that it's worth the building slot. Create the Sacred Disc State. We've already got the worship place, so we might as well make it better. Yeah, if you read the tag on it, it does lower unrest, or has a 10% chance to lower unrest every turn in that territory. Usually by the time I've got something like a Sacred Estate, I'm less worried about unrest, but it is the thing it does. Could grab the wax, we'll pass on that, we'll take the courthouse instead. Let's grab the crafting district. Could grab the worship place. We don't have the ability to easily drag the myrrh and frankincense in. Dates, silk, so that's up to 25, that's probably good enough. Nope, sure. And then we got surplus infrastructure here, so from infrastructure to food. The expert craft, the stonecutter here, okay, it'd be better with the marble, which we don't have, but it's enough that we're going to be able to upgrade the road, so we'll just pick it up. The temple. I probably want the well to be, well line to be over there in the plain. Arguably almost profitable enough that it would be worth building the dye there anyway, but And we'll do the brickwork for the moment. So we want the builder hole, which can potentially be upgraded in the builder guild to get rid of the modifier. So start building that. Crafting district, so we can actually have some crafting buildings there. Salt house. Passed up on the guard tower because the guard tower will go away as soon as the place grows 1. That's a little bit of a short time period for a building to be around. Need cells, we don't make any in the area. I'm not really worried about the equipment cost savings on warship building over on this ocean. Yeah, so I'm going to go for a reroll here. Unless I can recruit provincial archers. I don't think this is a provincial archer location. Oh, it is light calf, so that is skirmish calf. So it would actually benefit the archers, or the archery. So there we're looking for large warehouse and the great engineering school. The rest of them we can basically pass on. Industry-wise, let's grab the smokehouse. Get a little bit of growth going. Yeah, I'd like a better market. Currently can import the wine from Rhodes. So apparently at some point, Lydia popped out of existence. We now have Greta controlling the island. Works out for me. Now the question is, how much did they hate me? And the answer is probably a lot. No, they're neutral. Could definitely be worse. Okay, we're looking for a specific building here. We didn't get it, although we have spare building slots right now, so it's tempting to start picking other stuff up to get the territory progressing, or keep the territory progressing. Let's pick up a barracks. Out of trading range for the frankincense, so don't do that. Large wall. It'll be a bit slow, but when you want walls, you want walls. Irrigation system. Right now, everyone on food sells that makes net food. When they're not on food, it probably won't make net food, so we're not going to worry too much about it. Crafting district. Watchtower. Yeah, I'd like a better bonus than that. Noble district, we can get the marble for that. We don't need the loyalty though, and it's not a... Well, actually, no. That's probably about the right culture to decadence ratio for it to be acceptable. Granted, we have a lot more culture than we really need. You already getting the marble bonus. Let's do the quarry here. And then we can always upgrade it. the tier 3 stuff. And future runs, or future pop growth areas. Same sort of thing probably here. If we had a moment food, it'd be positive for the irrigation system, but it means we're not quite ready for it. Harbor. Because I've already decided I'm going to try to build it someplace else, so I'll build the irrigation canal someplace else. Like here. Although we didn't hit it. We got one open slot here. So we'll do the thing that doesn't take a slot, which is upgrade the temple. It's a way to sort of be productive while re-rolling. Go the Scriptorum. Could go the Quant. We'll do the Scriptorum. Oration Tribune there. Oh, farm would be decent there. Can I get the place, oh, more than stable? Am I moving to culture? And the answer is yes. Okay, that slows construction down for a bit, but that stabilizes the province, the whole territory. Or all the territories in the province. Babylon has 5. Oh, we have a 1 unit of the dam. Cool. We're not that desperate for cloth. Not that desperate for culture. Actually, the large warehouse doesn't sound too bad. Pick up the large warehouse. Pick up the temple here. I'm gonna go to the Wheelmaker and then realized we do have a bunch of people to convert. Pipe openings. Wheelmaker. Bolt site, assuming we never get enough industry here to build anything. 1 slot there. Upgrade the school, or upgrade 2 school, yeah. This is one of the places where it's actually all converted, so we don't really need the cold site. It's far enough northwest we could probably get away with the Leathermaker, but let's do Brickworks. Those guys from food to construction. And then we check the idols. Obviously, the Egyptian territory we've taken over has some idol stuff in it. Abu Simbel. Built almost a millennia ago by Ramses II, the Silvery's victory against the Hittites in the Battle of Kadesh, the vivid martial and religious paintings are still maintained by the priests. Okay, before I go ahead and cycle the turn, I think this is probably where I should go ahead and end. So if you're watching on YouTube, there probably will be a part up tomorrow. The war against Egypt continues. We're in a little bit of a staring match with the main Egyptian army. Once the reinforcements for our main army arrive to repair it after its terrible sea adventures, we'll probably go and attempt to engage that directly. Otherwise, we're going to mostly be trying to take advantage of our higher mobility and the fact that we've kind of got like 3 armies that are 1.5. So that we can kind of be in multiple places at once and take a bunch of their territory and cause a bunch of mayhem. And we're mainly aiming for a mayhem. Yeah, I could technically try to annex Egypt. I don't think that's what we should be going for. To win, right? Go look at Legacy. You'll notice that Babylon hasn't dropped off the list entirely. If you do hang around with Legacy points, you can technically win after being knocked out. And obviously, if Egypt's still in the game, okay, they might not. If the Egypt's been removed from the game, they don't necessarily lose all the legacy points. They've got 8,000, right? So that's going to be a bit of a stretch to catch up to. I can do a quick bit of math right now to check, right? So they've got 880 or 8,086. We subtract ours off from them. So there's about a 4.7 thousand deficit from us to them. We're gaining 59 more legacy than them. Granted, that's including some of their territory, right? So 59. Although we'd keep that in the scenario where we were to stay at war with them, right? So 47,000 divided by 59. We would need about 80 turns to win. So, okay, if we annex them, we'd probably win, right? So if it really does come down to it where I can't get my peace goals carried out on them and end up accidentally occupying everything and annexing them, then we'd roll with that. That wouldn't be rule ending, run ending. You can see maybe why some of the nations that are higher on the CDR list than are higher than us. Our decadence is beginning to grow, although we're still a young empire and we're not taking any age penalties. Though the other people are up here also young empire, young tier governments and not taking any aging penalties. So our decadence is fairly low from that reason. And we got a lot of culture, so our ratio is pretty high. You can also see why I try to keep the culture decadence ratio like 2 to 1 plus, because that will usually put you in the progressing tier. The stable tier here is like 1 1/3 and below. Declining is like 70% or 0.7 and below. And the big thing here is the divider for us. So we've got effects that are keeping our divider small. And they may not hang around forever. The big one is the virtuous administration here. Decadence reduced by 20%. Administrative burden, importantly for our income, is reduced by 50%. So yeah, if you just double the administrative burden, which would be what we'd have if we didn't have that in play, like, we're making no money. We're actually making enough money that we would be making money if that was the case, but otherwise we're making no money. We got innumerable books, we got some culture. We got one of our academies complete, so we got a little bit more quality, a little bit more force pool for the leaders. Our very bad health leader here is benevolent. That's his only perk. Sometimes having no bad perks is the best perk. He's going to disappear, and we're probably going to get someone far worse, knowing my luck. We're getting free support on 56 units, which is how we're able to have 3 full armies, a full navy, a small navy to keep people from pirating one of our coastlines, and still keep military upkeep below 222 or below. So yeah, we're doing pretty good with the military upkeep. The administration upkeep, though. Yeah, the administration upkeep. And that's with the modifiers lowering it. We also have reduced decadence gain from Archimedean imperialism. This is never going to go away. Though the other reason you see there is any token chance reduced for 40%. We're going to actually have a hard time progressing. That means when we hit Glorious, we're going to be old. Luckily, this scenario is only 200-something turns, otherwise we might be suffering a bit from our age at the end. yeah, and then so the run I think is going pretty well. We're got a bunch of territory. We can look at the legacy here. So we've got 2 regions that are over 5,000 culture. We got 40 regions over 1,000. Maybe not doing quite so good in the legacy, at least as far as I was thinking, because I think I had a little bit more. How many territories do we have? Regions overview. Actions. Let me check. We got 118 regions. So over 118 regions, 42 of them are scoring, so it's a little bit less than half. Though we're only about a third of the way through the game. Our government's not old enough to get any legacy value. You get that from, I think, being old. You have to be glorious tier. Or I think you have to be a tier, you have a government tier that suffers aging penalties, so not young, not stable. And then I think it's actually based on how old your government is. So if your government's really old, you get more. Even though old is bad. Wonders. So we've got 14 legacy-producing buildings. Granted, what, one of these is the territory we've taken from Egypt down here. But yeah, we got a couple of those. Things like the Hanging Gardens, the Tower of Babel are pretty high-scoring ones. We've got the King of Kings Palace, which is another 2. So yeah, we're getting some pretty decent legacy from legacy-producing buildings. We're technically in first there, with Egypt currently being in second. We can tell that the AI that are playing Greek civilizations haven't really started to play around a lot with their legacy buildings, because they'd probably catch up to us pretty quickly. Or at least catch up to Egypt, if they were playing as focused as I was. And then objectives. We control 13 objectives. We haven't really been focusing on objectives, because of the way we've been fighting our wars recently. Like right now, I think all our objectives are up in Greece, and it's kind of not the way we're going. And that's where we are. So we're in second. We're fighting number 1. If everything goes according to plan, we should take a bunch of legacy off of number 1, narrowing the gap so we can take number 1 spot a lot quicker. In theory, we're slated to become number 1 in 80-something turns, so if we can kind of keep the status, at least keep the status quo, we should probably win the game. We're just going to make sure... The plan is not to keep the status quo. The plan is to do better than the status quo. In which case, we'll be ready to win well before the end of the game. And the campaign in Egypt is going okay. Due to some of the funny business with the Navy, our main combat stack is still a little damaged, with mortals sitting at 1/3 effectiveness. They'll recover effectiveness reasonably quickly. We do have troops coming from all over the Empire to reinforce the stack. Once that's done, they'll be a little bit more ready to chase down the Egyptian armies. If we can destroy the Egyptian armies, we'll have a lot of options on our plate. Diplomacy-wise, with the Egyptians, we could at any time peace out with them, although we really want to do a peace deal with something like that, plus some territory, and they're not willing to take the legacy hit. They're willing to take the territory hit. We can basically get all the territory we want, but the legacy, they're not on that train yet, let's say. And that's probably about where I want to go ahead and end this recording. So if you're watching on YouTube, they'll be put up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to do a quick Alt-Tab now to bring up the browser, the Twitch browser. I can check my schedule to tell you what's coming up over the next couple days. If you're watching on YouTube at this point in the YouTube video, these should have been the things that were recorded over the last couple days for you. So if you can't wait for them to come up on Twitch or come up on YouTube, you can probably sneak over to Twitch and watch the After Action VODs. They should be uploaded for you by the time you're hearing, or they should be uploaded for you in slightly better quality given due time. They should be uploaded before they come down off of Twitch. So tomorrow, we're going to resume the Terran Victa run as the Resistance. I think things were starting to come back together for us in the last part, so I'm hoping to take back control of our orbits. One of the big things we were running into was dealing with volatiles. We're starting to get that sorted out. I think a lot of our bases also probably want to get redesigned to take advantage of the fact that it can be tier 3 now. Monday will be the continuation of Shadow Empire. Things are going well. We've got a city encircled. We'll have to see how well that encirclement goes. I have a suspicion that they may attempt or may succeed in breaking out. But until that happens, things are up in the air. They got a lot of guys in that encirclement. They got a lot of guys outside the encirclement. Lots of things can happen. Tuesday will be the continuation of Endless Legends, which is the game we replaced Humankind with. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably have already had the first couple parts of Endless Legends uploaded. If you haven't watched the stream from yesterday, the end of the stream from yesterday, on Twitch, that's what we were recording the second half of the stream yesterday. So people who have just popped over from YouTube to watch the stream live may not know that we're started an Endless Legends stream. And then Wednesday will be the continuation of Field Glory Empires. So that's the upcoming schedule. If you're watching on Twitch, this is probably our last chance to get any comments responded to live. If you're watching the VOD later and or watching on YouTube, YouTube is probably the better place for asynchronous non-live comments, because it does leave me a notification that I can respond to, whereas Twitch doesn't, as far as I can tell. I am recording this locally and for later upload to YouTube. So YouTube should be getting a slightly higher and more reliable quality video. It should be 1080p going up to YouTube. I believe at this point I've swapped fully over to doing 60 frames per second for YouTube, so it should be actually the same frame rate on both YouTube and Twitch. With that, I'm going to put a quick save in and go ahead and end the recording. This is Persia Stream 3. We might be going through this one a little bit faster than the Sparta one. We'll see. We'll see if we can get this done in 6 parts. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wish you all the best of luck, get a good time. Catch you all in the next part. And bye for now.